Did you see his face? Here, he's gonna talk to us, I think.
All right.
Goddamn.
That's a Cybertruck. Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
Yeah, made by Tesla.
That's a badass truck. Dude.
Thank you.
You want one?
Yeah. Sick, see ya.
I don't think there are any trucks on the market right now that get that much attention. Chicken Genius just posted a short to mid-term market update. Overall, he is mildly bullish. He thinks it could be a bit choppy till the middle of April or May and then down till June. But overall, he is bullish this year. He expects money printing to start in June. I don't invest based on market conditions though, so I'm going to look at this and then ignore it, because the average individual investor underperforms a market index by 1.5% per year, but active traders underperform by 6.5% annually. But hey, if you are able to make money trading, I have no issue with you. There are some that are able to do it, but there are very few. Volkswagen cancels plans to build ID.3 at the main plant because every euro counts. But the real reason is low demand. Almost with complete certainty, we can now say that the new Performance Model 3 is not going to be called Performance, it is going to be called Ludicrous. Because we can now see that in the source code of the Tesla configurator. To me, it means that the new Performance Model 3 is going to be substantially faster, or is noticeably faster than the previous one. I personally expect a 0 to 60 speed that would be under 3 seconds to qualify for that ludicrous name. Elon Musk's brother was just on Lex Fridman's podcast. I assume there's nothing really new about Tesla from the interview because I haven't seen anyone mention anything about this interview really on X. But I will probably still listen to it anyway. Sawyer sounds bullish here. I would say about 70% of Cybertruck owners I have spoken to so far have never owned a truck before. This, coupled with the fact that most truck buyers are lifestyle buyers these days, I think makes it difficult to gauge potential annual demand for Cybertruck. Elon said 250,000 per year, but I think that may be low, says Sawyer. The Cybertruck right now is priced at a fairly high price, but the average new pickup truck sells for about 67,000 right now in the US, so the Cybertruck certainly has a lot of potential. And unlike all other gas-powered trucks, it also gets the $7,500 EV tax credit. With the Tesla Model Y being the best-selling vehicle in the world, why eventually couldn't Tesla have a pickup truck that's also the best-selling pickup truck in the world? Omar is guessing that Cybertruck will be doing 500,000 to 1 million units a year later on. I personally believe that most pickup truck buyers are repeat buyers, meaning it's not the first time they are buying a pickup truck. But with the Cybertruck, a lot of the buyers are going to be first-time pickup truck buyers. I personally have never ever considered buying a pickup truck, but now I am. And ChatGPT is not really a perfect source of information, especially when it comes to facts and data. But it says that roughly maybe 20 to 30% of all pickup truck buyers are first-time buyers. And if Sawyer is right and 70% of Cybertruck owners are first-time pickup truck owners, this is quite bullish for Tesla. Tesla entered a blue ocean here, which is an important strategy if you run a business. Try to create a market for yourself instead of competing against everyone in the market, which is also what Tesla has done with EVs. If you include the $7,500 tax credit right now, the Cybertruck costs $72,500 for the dual motor all-wheel drive variant. So the price is very similar to the average selling pickup truck price in the US, and the Cybertruck prices will go down from there. As we have seen from other Tesla buyers, people I think will be wanting to trade up to the Cybertruck from their currently less expensive non-truck. For the people skeptical of the Cybertruck's general appeal, go ahead and see one in person, and if you can, take one for a test drive. It's an incredible vehicle. I haven't test driven it yet, but I have seen it in person and it's incredible. It looks exactly as I imagined it from the 4K videos that I've seen before. If you have only seen low resolution photos of the Cybertruck, it looks quite different in person, but if you have seen the 4K videos, to me, it looks exactly the same. And it looks great. Omar says Cybertruck is a truck without most of the downsides of a truck. It's a truck that's more efficient than a Prius. To me, the biggest downside of a truck is the truck being so huge that it's difficult to park it in tight parking spaces, especially downtown. That's the biggest thing I would dislike about owning a pickup truck. And over here in Vancouver, we have some streets where you have 3 lanes, and the lanes are not very wide. So sometimes I feel when I see a wide pickup truck drive by me, I'm fitting in my lane with my Model 3 just fine, but the pickup truck is sometimes stepping out of its lane almost. It feels not exactly very safe. So while I would have a lot more space on the inside of the vehicle, on the roads, I would just feel cramped perhaps a lot of the time. I know people don't have that problem in most places in the US. And most places even over here are fine. It's just there are a few roads that I often drive through that would be really annoying to go through if I had a much wider vehicle that I was driving. On the other hand, the reason why it's so annoying to drive on these roads for me is because I'm in a Model 3, so I know if a big truck crashes into me, it's gonna be bad. But if I'm in a Cybertruck and some other pickup truck nudges me, I don't care, so maybe it's okay. I might have just talked myself into owning a Cybertruck. I haven't test driven one yet, so my decision is certainly definitely not final. Also, I have a relatively tight garage situation because we do store a lot of things in our garage, which makes it a bit smaller. My good friend tried to park his Model X in the garage and it fit, but it's tight. So that's my biggest concern. Maybe I'll try to test drive it, maybe rent it for a day or something like that and see how much stuff I would need to remove from our garage. We have a pretty big freezer in the garage, so I would either need to get rid of it or throw some other stuff and move the freezer in a different location, which sounds like a lot of work. Or maybe I could just park it outside, but that sounds like not exactly an ideal situation for charging. Sawyer has a few more words to say about the Cybertruck. Just test drove the Model S, so now I have driven every Tesla except the Semi. Cybertruck definitely has the most comfortable suspension. I like a good suspension. Acceleration on the long range S is sweet, 3.1 seconds. He says that Barbara, who was with him, almost got sick from it. Interior quality is good, but I feel that Cybertruck has the most premium feeling interior of any Tesla to date. I know some people disagree with this, but after driving the new Model 3 on Friday and the S today, I still feel like the new Model 3 is like a baby Model S. The value is really good on the new 3, despite it not currently qualifying for the EV credit in the US. Although if you lease it, it's basically built into the lease price. A lot of features have trickled down from the S. But the problem with the leases is you cannot buy the Tesla vehicle at the end of your lease, so no one really wants to lease Tesla vehicles. The lease percentage is extremely low. I don't know why Tesla is still doing that. If you are a Tesla employee, please bring that up to the upper management. This must be because, I don't know. I don't have a good reason for this. I think it was initially related to Tesla solving full self-driving and then wanting to have a much bigger fleet from day one, but no one's leasing these vehicles. Or maybe more people are leasing now because this change just happened, so maybe I'm making this point a little bit too prematurely here. I am not too convinced that the lease percentage is going to increase by a lot, maybe by a little bit, and we will find out what that number is actually pretty soon when the deliveries come out for Q1. But if that number is not substantially higher than where it was before, Tesla, please let people buy their vehicle if they lease it at the end of their lease. Anyway, Sawyer continues. Back seats on the S felt more cramped than I expected considering the longer length of the vehicle, and wish there was more recline, but the seats themselves were comfortable. Overall, Model S is a great car and an OG. And Sawyer says that the best Tesla is the Cybertruck, the best value Tesla is the Model Y.